Hello everyone, it's Phil from the Conservative News channel. Like promised, actually I finally finished the book, Tactics and Rescue Unit, Washington Policing by Andrew F. Maksymchuk. I was actually very impressed. It was a very hard book to put down. I read most of it in one night, but New Year's came and family commitments were a priority. If I say overall, what I thought overall about the book was that it was well written. I mean, it was very easy to read if you understand what he's talking about. If you're not really sure what he's talking about, he's very and it caters to those people that don't really know what he's talking about special tactics, stuff like that. He simplifies a lot of the stuff, and this is not the first book of this type I've read about founding the special unit, like the Rescue Units, Special Forces guys. I've read books on the founding of SEAL Team 6, Delta Force, and a few others. What was interesting about this book is at the end he talks a little about the creation of JTF2, the Men in Black for Canada, our counterterrorism team in Canada, our SAS, our Delta Force, our SEAL Team 6, our Green Berets, so to speak. Those type of people. Talks about the SAS, talks about the hostage rescue scenarios, talks about quite a bit of interesting facts. I was very impressed with it when I first read it, and when I read it. I read something, honestly, I was surprised in this book, and one about SEAL Team 6, but from the founder of SEAL Team 6, his autobiography. This autobiography is just part of it. Is part of his story. But Richard Maksymchuk of the Rogue Warrior fame, I don't think I have a copy of any of his books handy, I don't think. Actually, I did it. I'll grab one of these newer ones. This is actually not his autobiography. This is actually one of his later ones. This is, I think, from 2008, I believe. 2009 or 10. 2000. Oh, I was right. It was 2008. Okay. Scary. I can remember that when it was from. But in his autobiography, he mentions some of the same people that Mr. Maksymchuk mentions in this book. Danny Colson, the FBI, HRT. I'll read about the author section in the book, actually. Andrew Maksymchuk retired as an inspector in 1984 after serving over 30 years with the Ontario Provincial Police. 6 of those years were spent as a homicide detective with the Criminal Investigation Branch. Maksymchuk served in remote areas in northwestern Ontario as well as in the densely populated areas like metropolitan Toronto as head of the TRU, the elite OPP tactical unit. For 8 years, he's been involved in many high-risk incidents such as hostage takings and barricade gunmen. As a specialized police instructor, his training session included the use of firearms, hostage negotiations, special police tactics, and police officer survival techniques. He is up to members of over 100 police organizations from around the world on behalf of the International Association of Chiefs of Police, and has given expert testimony on police procedures at inquiries into the deaths of and involving police officers. He is the recipient of the Queen's Commission, Canadian Police Exemplary Medal, Canada's 125th Commemorative Medal, the Ontario Provincial Police Long Service and Good Conduct Medal, and many other official career commendations. With several Police Record magazine articles to his credit, Maksymchuk is also the author of a book on police survival techniques entitled Cops A Matter of Life and Death, published by Eden Press, Montreal in 1989. And his first book of memoirs entitled From Muskeg to Murder, Catholic Publishing, BC, Victoria, BC, 2008. Both of his children have followed in their father's footsteps and served the public as police officers in Ontario. I think I might know one of them. I think I might know one for some reason. Andrew and Myra make their retirement home in British Columbia. I'm not going to report on his contact information for his privacy issues. Some of it's actually really good. The book is about, it is, let's see, 275 pages long. It's actually, my copy is signed copy from him, so, pioneers of the Ontario Provincial Police Tactical Rescue Unit. I'll list their names. Al Armstrong, Harry Bell, Wayne Bell, Gary Bruin, Dave Brown, Jerry Coleman, Gary Damon, Dave Douglas, Terry Drew, Andre Dupois, Bob Flanagan, Bob Frolick, John Gade, Bud Gardner, Larry Green, Paul Grunton, Pete Pete Hirschian or whatever, sorry if I mispronounced that name, Dave Hurtu, Doug Hutton, Bob Jolly, Bert Key, Bill Langue, Harold McDermott, that name sounds familiar, Dave Muir, Wayne Nethery, Wayne Pickett, Gus Riddell, Harley Solman, Tom Stanford, Paul Bellier. It goes 17 chapters. It goes from New Horizons, Marine Adventure, Military Madness. Very interesting. That's a good, excellent chapter, actually. The Golden Horseshoe, Fork in the Road, Olympic Security, Monsters, and Boxer Shorts. Caesar humor. There's some humor. Ice Cold Underwear. Yeah, that's another funny story. Cop Killer. Collingwood Sergeant Rob McKean, I believe is his name, was killed by this person on the run after escape. Mental patient, I believe it was. Blue Knight in Soft Armor. Boo Boos, Bikers, and Strikers. Rape. Actually, the rape one took place not far from where I am right now. Leading the Way. Life, the First Priority. Black Berets and a 40-mile stroll. Getting the Boot, Mean Kangaroos, Cutters in Kuwait. Doom, Gloom, and Duty Change. Cop Heaven, Terrorism, and the TRU Today. What else did I say about this book? A lot of interesting facts. I recommend everybody read this book if you're interested in police work, interested in tactics. Because the OPP Tactical Rescue Unit is one of the premier units, civilian units, in the world, police-wide, in police circles. So that says a lot about this unit. Was from, I believe, 1975 and 76 area. They trained up in Upland. They received initial training in Uplands, CFB Uplands, Ottawa, near Ottawa. They do a lot of training in Border, which is pretty much down the road from me. What else? New Hampshire, similar thoughts on criminal justice, what you do with criminals, and why how they get released. How they talk their way out of certain things. So I'm not going to really go too much in depth, but it's a very good book. Has some humor, some stories that took place where I live, in the town I live in, back in the early 80s, involving cows, involving a bull on a training exercise, which read the book and you find out all about it. I forget where exactly the book, but it's actually an excellent book, they did they trained with the military. They trained a lot with the military. They trained a lot of other police forces. They trained with international forces, police forces, and counterterrorism units. These guys, you see them you walk in Tim Hortons, you see them walk in. Yeah, you can tell they have that confidence with them, and that's what you want with guys like this, officers like this. You want the guys that are confident, that are ready to go at flick of a switch, so to speak, or snap of your fingers, snap of the finger, drop the hammer, type of deal. You want guys like that, but you want them to be able to stand down. But police tactical units like Toronto's ETF, Peel Regional Unit, and the OPP's unit, that's Rescye Unit, they're life-saving. Their first priority is to save lives, not to take anybody's life. That includes the bad guys, hostage or whatever. So they'll describe in this book very well. Hostage rescue, hostage negotiation situations, in these situations, in those certain situations. And they consider it a failure if lives are lost. The operation of failure. If any lives are lost. So I mean, it's kind of I find it was a kind of refreshing look into the TRU. I haven't really done much on the TRU. I don't know that they're great people. I probably met him, don't even know it. I forget the face. I eat pretty good faces, doesn't remember faces. Honestly, I do not remember his face. It doesn't mean nothing. It's over 10 years ago. I meet so many people. Most of the people since then, it's kind of a blur. Certain faces that I don't quite remember fully. Time it was like everything was coming at you. This quick little detour for the day, I guess. Distraction from the craziness of the day. But yeah. So yeah, I mean, if you have any, I posted in the other video I did mentioning about this, about the information. I will link that. I might link the videos with the information, or I might just put it back in here. It's from publishing company for this one is, let's see, General Store Publishing Company. Web address is to order copies www.gsph.com. Yeah, so I mean, it's a very good book. Very well written, as I said. I mean, do I say, geez. Yeah, let's put it this way. Pierre Elliott Trudeau, he proves in this book he was a complete tool. So are many other people. Brian Mulroney was actually the person that created JTF2 how I read. I could be wrong. Don't hold me to that fact, but I believe it was Brian Mulroney that created JTF2, Joint Task Force 2. Our counterterrorism units. Pierre Elliott Trudeau, the Olympics, 76 Olympics in Montreal. They didn't have a standing CT unit, counterterrorism CT unit. They had to rush the last minute to put one together. For the G7 and around that a little bit later, same thing. Then it's kind of the whole story. It goes into about a few foreign personnel, government personnel for, it was Turkey, another country that were assassinated or attempted to assassinate. Basically, we didn't do enough. Our government at the time did not do enough to prevent that, to stop that. To me, in my opinion, every country needs a dedicated counterterrorism unit. I know a lot of people will say counterterrorism, oh, there's no such thing international terrorism, there's no such thing as terrorism. To those people I say, you guys are wrong. I'll say it right, you guys are wrong. But we have to understand and realize today's day and age is a very bad world out there right now. The geopolitical climate right now is at that point where we don't know what is really. It's very fluid, dynamic situation geopolitically. I'm not no expert in this or anything, but I'm just saying my opinion on the matter. From information, all my sources I use. Like I said, another video about the Beirut bombings. But a few months before, a SEAL Navy security team went to Beirut, Lebanon, to assess the embassy, potential attack on the embassy, and they brought. They did their thing, assessment, and so the master at the time, or whoever it was, who actually survived the bombing. It's truly the dumb smucks that survive the shit like that. Honestly, it's the ones that who are willing to put their lives on the line or lose lives for these fucks. There's no justice at all sometimes. But like I said, if they would listen to what the commander of the Navy security naval security team, who just happens to be one Richard Maksymchuk. She has his autobiography, Rogue Warrior. That one I could do a review off the top of my head. I'm going to reread it just to brush up on what is in there. But he talks about, in that book does it, but similar experiences as Andrew here, Mr. Maksymchuk, had with Tactical Rescye Unit. Even though he wasn't the first commander, the founder of it, the first commander of it, but the similarities in their stories, it's kind of funny. I found it very interesting that their stories were similar, very similar, but dealing with naysayers of the unit or whatever. Which was the same thing with SEAL Team 6, and later with Red Cell. I don't really know what to say about some things on this, but comes to terrorism, every country should be prepared, should have a CT unit that's capable of operating, right off, like instantaneously, be able to react instantaneously, deploy instantaneously. The Navy has the SEAL Team 6 for that. Army has Delta Force. Marines have Force Recon, specialized Force Recon Marines, etc. to deal with it. And they have the special counterterrorism units and all that. Canada, we don't really have the JTF-2, OPP, Tactical Rescue Unit, RCMP unit last 6 years, and they shut it down, just broke them down. Actually, it's not booked. Found that out. So it's ridiculous sometimes. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you know where to find me. Talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Bye.